Welcome back to another edition of Sounds Right Media. My name's Anthony.
And I'm Brian.
So first thing is first, guys, welcome back. We haven't made a video in about a month now. We've been taking some time off, enjoying the summer. We had a couple vacations, had some family things come up, but we are back to bring you a video on GEVO. In the green corner, you have Brian, a 37-year professional stock trader who makes a lot of people a lot of money, makes it rain dollar bills.
Yes.
Brian! And in the red corner, we have a guy who can't make $1 out of nothing. Never sells his stocks because you can't lose if you don't sell. Anthony! GEVO is a very interesting stock in our opinion, but Brian has...
In his opinion.
In my opinion. Brian ultimately will have the final say on whether GEVO is a buy or a sell. So before we get into the video, you know what time it is. It's time to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions after the video, comment down below, turn your post notifications on because we're always going to be around giving you updates on stocks we've talked about and details on future predictions.
So we want to just show you a 1-minute short clip exactly on what GEVO does.
When you do these renewable resource-based low-carbon fuels, our raw material is actually carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That is the source of renewable carbon. We have to pack that carbon back into a hydrocarbon fuel, like jet fuel or gasoline. So how can you do that efficiently?
So we take corn and we then fractionate it so that we separate out some of the different components, part of those things being food. So we do produce a lot of protein. That protein stays in the food sector. And then the starch, the residual starch in that corn, we are then converting into a biofuel in the form of isobutanol.
We do it using technology that we developed where we took a yeast that normally makes ethanol and we genetically engineered it so it just makes isobutanol. And then we use conventional engineering techniques to clean up that isobutanol and get it ready for its next step, either using it in the market as is or converting it to things like jet fuel and gasoline.
So Brian, after watching that video, I know you're pumped about this stock.
Yes,
I know you're about to say a lot of good things and a lot of future price increases from this point on, right? Brian, what do you think about this?
Well, honestly, isobutanol, converting it to jet fuel, whatever they want to say. Honestly, you know, back months ago, Anth, I was bearish to stocks, said it had too high valuations. Nothing has changed.
One of the reasons Brian feels that way is that the Biden administration is developing targets for biofuel that are likely to be relatively flat or even lower as it seeks to balance the interests of blue-collar refining workers and advance a clean energy agenda. The targets will dictate how much corn-based ethanol, biodiesel, and other renewable fuels oil refiners must blend into their products in 2021 and 2022.
So basically, they're just, the amount of money they're, I guess you could say, subsidizing into this area is going to be less than what a lot of people anticipated. And I think...
And that was kind of the whole play with this, right?
Yeah.
Was that the administration would be friendly towards this. They would be taking on this new climate change agenda. And I mean, I think they are taking on a climate change agenda. It just might not be with GEVO. With that being said, the chart is pretty interesting. Let's take a look, see where we're at. I know Brian has a lot of great things to say about this stock. He always does. If you guys want any previous details on what we think about GEVO or a little bit more about the company, you can go review old videos that we've made on it. I think we've got like 3 or 4 at this point.
Yeah.
Brian, here's the current chart. Here's the current price action. What do you see? What do you think?
Well, as you can see here with some of the notes, you know, obviously the whole market, you know, is at new all-time highs. Basically, the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ Composite, the Russell 2000 is lagging. And all of these stocks like GEVO, whether it's GEVO or Sorrento Therapeutics or LightPath Technologies, NNDM, many of the names on the board are just lagging. GEVO is one of them.
Yep.
So as you can see here, I have the stock is overdue for a bounce, and we did actually get a bounce, you know, the prior couple of days. We bounced up off what I call, you know, the support area, somewhere down around the low 5s in that zone. You can kind of see back and through here, we tagged 200-day moving average back over in here, then we tagged the 100-day moving average. And over here on the left side of the screen, you can see this zone in here in the 5-ish area. So it was due for a bounce. I thought maybe you could get a move up to 760 as a potential target. Resistance came in somewhere around 620 to 710. That's where you have all of these moving average lines. You also have some resistance here on the charts, as you can see by the red arrows in this 760 area. So we never quite got that high. Now we can see the stock is down 21 cents today at 590. And honestly, the only way this stock is going higher on a short-term basis is it needs a fundamental driver. I mean, if we look at the chart here, it traded up in, up into the 15s back in the February, like a lot of these stocks did.
Yep.
And ever since then, after it had its big decline, it's kind of just gone sideways for the most part. I said months ago that, I didn't think the stock was doing anything, and that I thought under tax selling at the end of the year, you might get me to be interested in the stock. And same thing. I think the stock, you can look at the notes here, is subject to potential tax selling for sure. Maybe it gets under $4. I don't know. You do have 13.5% of the float being short, so that could be a potential driver. But just because there's a higher percentage of shorts doesn't mean, unless you're going to get the Reddit crowd pushing this here to create a short squeeze, just because there's a lot of short interest in the stock doesn't mean it has to go up unless there's some type of driver. Market cap still 1.12 billion. Yeah, it's more reasonable, but still, if you look at where it was 9 months ago, it's still sky high for me. When I look at insider ownership, 2.45%, nothing to brag about. Institutional ownership, 26%, so that's pretty good, but let's be real. Most people are trapped in this stock here now. And again, you might get me to buy this here under tax selling at the end of the year, but outside of that, I have zero interest. I think it's overvalued. And I think it's probably going lower unless there's something significant that comes out from a fundamental perspective.
And let me just say, we don't hope it's going lower. We want everyone to make money. We want everyone, we want to see this price back at its all-time highs. But it's just from looking at the chart and just from knowing a little bit about the business that we are going to call this going lower at bearish short term. And before I see all the comments about, you guys just don't like GEVO, you're just bearish on GEVO. We think a lot of these growth stocks are going the same direction. They're all going to get hit. They're still getting hit. And it's going to take a lot to kind of come out of this spot that they're in now.
I do think these stocks here, though, have limited downside because they've already taken a beating.
Yeah.
These stocks are already in bear markets.
Yeah, you're not going to see this at like $1.
No, but so I think, what I think we're both trying to say is we don't see a lot of great prospects unless there's something fundamental that happens in a big manner. You're going to be subject to tax selling, more than likely. And at this point here, I think the brunt of the selling has taken place in these stocks, but they might just continue to drift lower. And, that's just a sobering reality on these stocks. So they got far ahead of themselves, and now they're just finding themselves in the summer doldrums and leaking to the downside.
The GEVOs, the BNGOs, the NNDMs, all of them. So in our last video, I had mentioned that in the comment section, if you want to drop a comment and ask us to look at any other stocks, feel free to. We will definitely, at the end of our videos, take about a minute, maybe two, to go over a stock that you guys have picked out. This stock comes to us as one of our own, but it was in our comment section from RB Addict, and he said, can you take a look at LPTH and explain the recent price action? So we're going to go ahead, kind of talk about the recent price action, be about a minute summary on what we think is going to come for LPTH. Ryan, what you got?
Well, I am super, super bullish this company here. I know it's the same old drumbeat, bullish this company, bullish Sorrento Therapeutics. I just happen to think both of these here are superior long-term holds, and to me, it's just a matter of when does the stock double, triple, or quadruple from these levels. If you take a look at some of the latest news, very, very good, and I just think the stock at these current levels right now, 233, I think it's absolutely dirt cheap, and I think significant upside in this one, as well as Sorrento Therapeutics.
Some of the names that are in LPTH are just huge. I mean, it's got so many big names that are doing business with it.
Yes.
And for those of you that don't know, what does LightPath Technologies do?
So as you can see on the screen right here, LightPath Technologies is a recognized leader in the optics and photonic solutions, serving blue chip customers in the industrial, defense, telecommunications, testing and measurement, medical industries. For over 35 years, LightPath designs, manufactures, and distributes optical and infrared components, including molded glass, aspheric lenses and assemblies, infrared lenses and thermal imaging assemblies, fused fiber kilometers, and proprietary black diamond, chalcedonide based glass lenses. These guys are into everything, and if you actually go ahead and take a look, just go to Yahoo Finance and look at the list of stories that have come out here recently. These guys have such huge upside that I'm honestly giddy about this company.
In summary, let's talk about GEVO predictions. Brian, what do you think?
Well, and as far as I'm concerned, seriously, I think the stock has nowhere to go on the upside. And honestly, this stock here is almost like a wrecking ball hit it. Maybe under tax saying I will play it at the end of the year for a bounce, a January effect type of bounce. But that's really about it. I'm not interested in this company. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate mail now and whatever, but there's better places to go. Much, much better places to go. Anth, your thoughts?
My thoughts are that I hope all of you make money with GEVO. I know Brian hopes you guys make money.
Absolutely.
But the prediction does not look good for GEVO. I've never really been too interested in GEVO other than when it was, super hyped about 4 months ago and it was just going every day. I'd watch up 7%, up 10%. Right now, I cannot be a long-term holder of GEVO. I can't be a short-term holder. I can't get into GEVO. Now, LightPath, on the other hand, I've made a lot of money off of a Brian tip with LightPath in the past, and I'm super bullish on LightPath. I love LightPath Technologies. I think they have a great foundation built for their business. I think 35 years is what I saw of business. Brian, what do you think about LightPath?
Well, they've been around for a long time. The infrastructure has now been put in place. Over the last couple of years, they've had a transformation, and they just have so many positives going for this company. I can't say enough about being bullish this company. For me, Ant, this is one of these back up the truck. I'm loading the boat in this one here, and I think this one here is sky's the limit. This company here is one I will stand behind 100%. I absolutely love LightPath Technologies.
So that's it for the video, guys. That's kind of our bull and bear of the day. We're bearish on GEVO and we're bullish on LPTH. In the comments section, if you want to leave a comment about a company you'd like us to look at, we will be doing this at the end of each video for about a minute or two. Just kind of what we did with LightPath today, looking at the chart, maybe look at the company website, go through some things, and predict the future for that company. I don't know how good we're going to do with it, but we're going to give it a shot. So leave a comment in the comment section.
LightPath is golden.
LightPath is golden. Tell us what you think of the video. Click the thumbs up. Turn your notifications on. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Brian.
We'll see you next time.